Wow, we're already on the fifth day of AFK Thoughts. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's had a good day off. Or maybe you didn't. Sorry if you didn't. Um, so, last night there was quite a bit of snow and I managed to get home, but I saw two cars off the road on the way home. And it's the first snow that my state has got so far. And clearly people don't know how to drive in the snow where I'm from. Um, Kind of funny. I mean, I pulled over and checked and made sure everyone was good, but it's just kind of crazy just how people aren't capable of driving in the snow. It's like they've never been here before. Maybe they're late to flying south for the winter. I don't know. Um, but yeah. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving or anything else, just at least a day off. Um, I had something kind of depressing happen earlier today. I had a gentleman come into my shop claiming that his phone wasn't sending messages. And I take a look at his phone and I can see that the message has been sent, so I'm a little confused and asking him. He also tells me that he's kind of got like Alzheimer's or dementia. And I'm like, wow, that's really bad. My grandmother had dementia before she died, and she didn't recognize who I was. She like thought I was my sister's husband or something at the time, and I just it, it was kind of messed up, really. Somebody just completely fades away. But anyway, um, this guy is telling me that his messages aren't getting sent. So I said, "Do you mind if we test that?" And I pull out the phone for my work and I text the phone and I show him on the bottom. I say, "You see that? How it shows like the timestamp? That shows that the message has actually been sent." And then I put his phone on airplane mode and then tried to send the message and it said like it couldn't connect to servers or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, that's kind of weird. Well, do you think it's on her end?" Because he was trying to text. I didn't really understand who it was, if it was like his granddaughter or someone, but or maybe it was like his girlfriend. I really don't know. But he was like, "Do you think it's on her end?" And I said, "Yeah. I mean, there's a chance of that if you want to bring it in." And he's like, "Well, that's just so strange because when she's sitting in the room with me, she's able to receive messages from other people and sends them to other people. So it's like only my phone that's not doing it." And I felt really bad, but I basically told this guy, "I think she's trying to ghost you." And he's like, "What is that?" And I said, "I think she just doesn't have time to fully respond to the text you're sending." I say, "I get ghosted from people all the time. Like my sister has ghosted me occasionally, you know, my family's ghosted me occasionally when I text them. And I've also been prone to ghosting people too. It's just kind of a natural thing. I feel really guilty about it, but like what can I do?" And then I feel like the more that I postpone, like, so if I get a text message, right? And it's been like a couple hours since I've seen it because I don't check my phone super often. If it's been like a couple hours or it's like really late at night when I finally see the message, and then at that point I'm like, what, supposed to respond when it's late at night, or it's like awkward because it's been sitting on there for hours, and it just feels really weird to like text them back. So then it's a double-edged sword no matter what you do. Whether you text them back right then and there, you get, you just feel weird about it, or you wait and put it off, or you just completely ignore it and wait till they text you again. I don't know. If I'm the only person on the planet that's experiencing that, please let me know. But I feel like there's got to be multiple people. I feel like that is a majority of people. The more that technology has evolved, I mean, it's not so much anymore where we all have house phones, or even before. But like you have house phones, and then you have like a ringer that's constantly going, and if you're like ignoring the ringer, I mean, at the very least you'd probably at least pick up the phone and like drop the phone back on the hook, you know what I mean, and just like hang up on them, or it would go to your answering machine, and then it's like you're still going to sit there and let that ring for that long. But now our phones can be set on silent, they can be set on vibrate, and the worst part is it's a mobile phone, so they know, like, you probably have your phone. I bet everyone watching this, even though there's not very many of you, I bet everyone watching this, their phone is within like 2 arms reach, 2 arms distance. I guarantee. It's probably in your pocket, or it's sitting right in front of you on your desk, or you're holding it right now to watch me. I don't know. But I know pretty much everybody who has a mobile phone, it's probably very close to them. So it's even worse. And I feel like, yeah, I just feel wrong when I ghost somebody. But like, I'm talking to this guy who's got like Alzheimer's or dementia, and I'm kind of trying to break it easy to him. Like, I think the person might be ghosting you, but if they're not, maybe it's on their end. Have them bring in their phone and we'll take a look at it so I can kind of identify what's going on. But it just felt really messed up. It just felt really messed up, and it kind of made me a little sad because this guy, he means well, but he's not fully there. So he's sending text messages and stuff to this girl, and it's just like, hello, hello. Like, I saw one text message on the phone where she actually responded, and it was like just a hello with a question mark. So I'm like, it feels, you know what I mean? It's like awkward. And he's like, well, she's on Facebook Messenger and she'll respond to me on there. I'm like, well, it very well might be that she has, like, something wrong with her phone, so bring it in. But, like, I really think she's trying to avoid him. And it was bad. And I feel like I told him that, but I don't even know if it's, like, registered or if he understands. And he sent me a text later on today saying that he appreciated it, and I didn't get that text. I didn't see that text until like 2 hours later. So I felt really bad because he sent me a text to verify that I'm receiving it, and then I didn't respond right away. But I made sure to respond to him after that, and then he just said like thanks. But it's like kind of depressing. And I don't even really know what happened with the guy because he didn't show up in a car, so he just like walked in off the street. And it's like there's snow on the ground right now, and I just felt bad for this dude. And he was like saying, "No, no, we're together." Like, I don't know if it was his girlfriend or what, but he's like, "I take care of her, and like I just don't understand why she would do that to me." And I'm like, I didn't tell the guy straight up, but like I'm kind of thinking like, you're an older person that can kind of be easily taken advantage of, which is really messed up. You know what I mean? It's really messed up. And I couldn't tell him that, but in my mind I'm thinking like somebody's looking for a sugar daddy or something along those lines. But I didn't have a whole lot of information, and I was just feeling like extremely bad. But I don't know. That was just kind of a negative point of today, and I wish the guy the best, but yeah, it made me feel weird seeing somebody fade. And and this guy's come into the shop a couple times beforehand, but I I have like 2 or 3 customers, like different customers with Alzheimer's or like dementia, and it just blows my mind because they come in and it's almost like sometimes they know me, sometimes it's like they think that it's the first time seeing me, and it makes me feel really messed up. It's just I don't know. But on a lighter note, I did get an Xbox in today, and there was this little kid. This little kid. Well, let me start it off. So we made a post on Facebook. I'm not a huge Facebook user, so my girlfriend did it, but she made a post on Facebook. just to try to advertise a little bit and get some more of like exposure to the business. And directly after that, um, a gentleman saw it and texted us and wanted to know if we could fix an Xbox. And I'm like, I'm assuming it's an HDMI port because whenever I get a game console in, like modern day game consoles, it's always an HDMI port, like 95% of the time at least. And um, I said, "Is it an HDMI port?" He said, "No, it's an Xbox, and it has an issue with the disc tray." And I'm like, "Do you know what kind of Xbox he is?" And he said, "My grandson says it's an original." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I mean, if it's an original, like I can definitely like try to open it and take a look at it, or at least like we can replace the disk drive because if you get like a newer Xbox, you can't replace the disk drives on those because like parts are paired to the system. I don't understand why people did that, but like things are like paired to systems now, so you can't just kind of. It would literally be like if your car had a flat tire and you needed to replace one, you would have to replace all four at the same time or something like that. Like it's just dumb the way the electronics are like done now. But I'm pretty sure it's just to prevent like third party repair like me. Anyway, so the it was an original Xbox, and the grandfather came in with his grandson, and the grandson came and put the Xbox on the counter, and he said, yeah, it's missing the rubber feet because the kid tried to disassemble it and he got to like four screws, but there's one that's like hidden under a sticker that the kid didn't know about. So I applaud um, kids that are doing that. That's and he was super happy, and it was an original Xbox. It's not like an Xbox One or an Xbox 360. So it's old tech, and the kid was like super happy, and he was just it's like I tried to take it apart, but I couldn't get to that, and we're like, okay, yeah, that's not a problem. We'll see. We'll try to straighten it out for you, no problem. And I don't know. I kind of saw like a piece of me in him, or like I've had kids come up and like tell me that they've at least attempted it themselves, or and I find that inspiring. Personally, I love it. I wish more people felt confident in opening their own stuff and working on it, but I feel like people think, oh, I have $1,000 whatever, whether it be a phone, a console, computer, anything, and or it's really expensive, maybe not $1,000, but it's really expensive, and it's like broken, or it's like has some kind of defect. Even if you could clearly see it, like if you drop your phone and the screen's cracked and you're having lines all over your screen, the phone's pretty much screwed up. But they don't feel confident enough to take that screen off and learn how to replace it with another screen because they think they're gonna like deal more damage to it or something. And I'm kind of in my mind, I'm like, it's already broken, so like, what's the worst that you could do? But maybe it's because they don't want to deal extra damage and then cause like more problems that like a tech like me would have to like undo. But I think a lot of people are capable. If you've ever built a desktop computer, you could do any kind of electronic repair, no problem. No problem at all. If you even have the slightest experience with like ripping apart something. When I was a kid, like that kid's age, I was probably tearing apart like VCRs and stuff just to make the quality better. You know, like I just wanted to see how things worked on the inside. You can take out all the screws in something as long as you like keep track of where the things went. Like what's the worst that's gonna happen? You know what I mean? But if you start pushing on stuff that's not really wanting to let go, yeah, you're probably going to end up dealing some serious damage to it. So I don't know. I'm. It's just it makes me feel happy knowing that there's a young kid out there who's taken the initiative to attempt to tear apart their own console and work on it themselves, and I find it great. So yeah, I mean, I've also had like a kid come into this shop and build a computer from scratch. I mean, I showed him how to do it, but like I made them do the whole computer, and I mean, they were grateful. They left me like a thank you card and like even had like a tip in the card, and I was like, wow. I still have the card hanging up in my shop, and it's just I don't know, things like that. But um sorry about this episode of me just ranting, but that's kind of what the channel's about. I'll see you tomorrow.